What's going on, guys? Are you just always looking for a chair for your desk setup, but you don't want to spend those Herman Miller prices? Well, I think I might have the answer for you guys, the Ergotune Supreme. We're gonna go ahead and talk about all those features and compare this to the holy grail of all desk setup chairs, the Herman Miller Aeron. So, without any further delay, my name is David with Side of Tech. Let's go ahead and check it out. As a desk setup nerd, I've used a few chairs in my time. The aforementioned Herman Miller Aeron, the Secret Lab Titan. Why this chair intrigues me is that for a price of $569, you can get something that has all the features of even more expensive ones. So let's go ahead and talk about those features now. First off, the materials that we're working with are made from mesh. The mesh that they use is really nice and breathable, and I have no doubts that it won't support you. The mesh itself also has some kind of ribbing to it and is not entirely smooth. This was actually a good thing because it meant that I was sliding off of my chair less. I personally got the large size, which supports a height of 5'11" all the way up to 6'11". They say on their website that weight is not a factor in the sizes, it's only the height, so just take this into consideration when you're picking out your chair. Next, let's go ahead and talk about the adjustment points. This chair has a ton, so you can really dial it in and tailor your fit. You have the simple height adjustment as well as tilt controls like tilt lock, which isn't too uncommon for a chair like this. But you also have seat depth, which is something that comes in handy all the time depending on how I sit. You can adjust the headrest height and depth to get the perfect type of support for your head. Next, you can also adjust the backrest height, which is pretty interesting. This comes in handy if you need to adjust the positioning of the lumbar support. Just be careful and don't be startled when you take the backrest height to the top and it slams down, because there's no locking position at the very top. But speaking about the lumbar support, their auto adjusting lumbar support is one of the most comfortable systems I've ever had the pleasure to use. The support system kind of moves with your back, so with the rotating knob you can adjust how far out you want it to conform to your back. I usually keep this at its lowest setting and damn is it comfortable. Easily my favorite adjustment point on this chair. Now that I've talked about all the really great features, there is one thing I really despise about this chair, and that's the armrest. So for one, it's good that they can be adjusted up and down easy enough, but the locking mechanism is just not strong enough the way that I sit. They're way too flimsy and always move on me. If you like leaning onto one side of your chair, you'll find yourself slipping off of the armrest. Wait, you say, why don't you just move them forward and back? Oh wait, they can't do that. A chair with so many good adjustments, but the armrests are just a miss. But anyways, this still doesn't dismiss the fact that for the price, you can customize any part of this chair. And what's even more shocking, this even beats my Herman Miller chair in some aspects. So let's go ahead and cover those now. I've been using the Herman Miller Aeron for the past year and a half. It's top tier quality and really hard to beat when it comes to anything else. But here comes Ergotune, a company well known in Singapore and Australia who want to send me their chair knowing it would be put against the Aeron. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's pretty gutsy. When comparing to the Aeron, as far as the materials go, there's no beating it. It's in a league of its own. But where it becomes interesting is in the lumbar support, because I'm gonna say it, the Ergotune one I feel is better. It's more comfortable and covers more of my back rather than the small sliver that the Aeron one does. Next, being able to adjust the seat depth is just really important to me. Putting my feet up on my desk is something I commonly do, and when I do it with the Aeron, it feels kind of clunky, but with the Ergotune, it's just more comfortable. Now this isn't the most ergonomic thing ever, but it's all about the little things, right? Also, the Aeron doesn't come with a headrest. I had to pay extra to get one, but not with the Ergotune one. This one comes fully adjustable, just the way that it's meant to be. Again, all these points are up to user preference, but I'm just trying to say that for a third of the price, you can't beat this chair when it compares to the Aeron. This is a really great mid-range option. Okay, so the last thing I want to cover is just the improvements for version 4. If they can just increase the locking strength so I'm not slipping out of the chair, I would be totally satisfied. Next, while the mesh is comfortable, it is a bit more on the abrasive side, so maybe a tad softer mesh, I think it would go a long way. Lastly, I do something about the backrest height adjustment. Sometimes if I'm wearing something that can get caught into the lumbar support, it would bring the whole entire backrest up and then slam back down, which is not the best feeling. So maybe a manual locking mechanism to keep it from moving at all until you want it to. I think that would help a lot. So with all that information, I'm ready to give my verdict. My ratings are buy full price, try it out, wait for a sale, or pass. Now in my head, I was really thinking to give this chair a wait for a sale, but when I was writing the review, it really put into perspective how much I really did like this chair. With all the customization and all the features that comes with this chair in this price tag, I'm gonna go ahead and give this chair a rating of try it out. I'm really recommending this to people who are looking for that mid-range budget that has most of the features of the upper tier chairs, but don't want to spend over $1,500 for a Herman Miller chair. The Supreme also comes with a 21-day return policy and a 12-year limited warranty, so you're covered there. I find it really awesome that there are so many desk chairs out there on the market now. For any type of budget, for any type of person, you could spend as much or as little as you want, and you can still get a really good outcome. I think that's what I learned the most out of this whole entire review process. But anyways guys, what did you think about my review? Do you have your own opinion? Do you think I reviewed this thing all wrong? Go ahead and leave everything down in the comments below. Also, if you liked today's video, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. That's if you want to be a part of an up and coming tech community here on YouTube. Also check me out on Instagram. I'm really posting some really fun stuff over there, so go ahead and give me a follow if you're interested in those type of things. So with all that being said, this was David serving you a little side of tech, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you guys.